secret that could ruin my family. So my dad is extremely religious, like the kind of religious where everything revolves around Christian values. And unfortunately for me, that also means he's very openly homophobic. I'm bisexual. And my dad absolutely refuses to accept that. In his mind, you're either straight or you're gay. And if you're gay, that's a problem. For years, he's lectured me about it, forced me to go to church, complained about shows I watched if they had gay characters. He constantly made it clear that he believed being anything other than straight was wrong. Things got even worse a few years ago when I introduced my boyfriend at the time to my parents. My ex and I had been together for a while, and sometimes he would stay the night at my house. But my dad made it very clear he didn't approve. In fact, it got so extreme that my dad would literally wake up in the middle of the night, walk into my room, and check to make sure we weren't having sex. His exact words were that it was unacceptable under his roof because this was a Christian house. It was humiliating, and honestly, it made living there miserable. Then, on my 18th birthday, things got even worse. My dad basically forced us to break up. He told me I was an adult now and needed to get my life together, and that he wasn't going to allow that kind of thing happening in his house anymore. So my ex and I split. For a while, we still talked, but eventually we argued, drifted apart, and stopped speaking completely. Almost a year passed, then one day we reconnected. We talked through everything that happened, and while we didn't get back together, we managed to stay friends. Every once in a while, things between us would get a little flirty or intimate again, but officially, we weren't dating anymore. At least, that's what I thought was the complicated part of the story. I had no idea what was coming next. At some point during those months, my ex started making this really disturbing joke. He would randomly say that he had done something sexual with my dad. Every time he said it, I got angry. Not just annoyed, actually angry. The thought alone made me feel sick, but he kept bringing it up like it was some kind of running joke. Eventually, I stopped reacting. I figured if I ignored him, he'd drop it. Instead, the joke escalated. About a month ago, he started claiming he had a video of it. At that point, I was convinced he was just trying to mess with me. So I brushed it off again. But one day, he said it again, and I was so tired of hearing it that I told him, fine, send it. I was fully expecting something fake, a random clip, or some stupid joke video. Instead, he actually sent it. It was a one-time view video. I opened it without thinking much about it. And the moment it started playing, my stomach dropped because it wasn't fake. I immediately recognized the room. It was my dad's bedroom, and I could clearly see the tattoo on his arm. The same tattoo he's had for years. There was no doubt. It was him. And my ex was wearing clothes I had given him one night when he stayed over at my house. I felt physically sick watching it. I closed the video immediately. But the damage was already done. I had seen enough. And in that moment, everything in my head just started spinning. Later that same day, my dad came home from work, and I couldn't even look at him. Every time I saw him, all I could think about was that video. And the hypocrisy. All the times he yelled at me for being bisexual. All the times he forced me to go to church. All the lectures about morality. All the times he criticized shows for having gay characters. All the times he told me I was wrong for who I was. And now, I know he secretly did the exact same thing he condemned me for. And the worst part is, I can't tell anyone. I'm still living in this house. I'm stuck sitting across from him at dinner knowing what I saw. And I don't even want to imagine what would happen if my mom ever found out. Honestly, I'm not even asking for advice. This whole situation completely messed with my head. And I already know I probably need to talk to a therapist about it, but keeping this secret feels like it's eating me alive.